Yeah, really proud of the guys. I thought that was a great team win. Obviously, 6 guys, I think, in double figures. So a variety of different guys have positively impacted the game. To have 19 assists, only 11 turnovers, I think says a lot about us sharing the ball. And that was as dialed in as we've been defensively with paying attention to the scouting report, who we're guarding. Honor Huff did a really good job on number 7, who's a great shooter. Garrison Kiesler did a really good job on number 24, who gets a lot of shots off, super talented player. And overall, I thought we just played great team basketball. And then to point out Makai, obviously a monster game, 17 points, I think. I don't want to cheat you of any Makai, but 17 points, 5 rebounds, and paid attention to what they're doing. They were switching a bunch of screens, so he was able to dive and get some things around the basket and made free throws, which was awesome. So total team effort makes for a better Thanksgiving. So that's all I got.
Makai, felt like you got a bucket here, a bucket there, a bucket here, and then at the end of the game you hit the 3 and we looked up and it was 17 points. Did it feel like that, where it was just like a slow, steady grind, or did it feel like, okay, hey, oh yeah, I'm going to be close to 20?
I mean, yeah, it's definitely a slow, steady grind because you never know like how the game goes, and it's really just about the flow. But I just stuck with it and dove hard and try to make the right shots I can make. So I was trying to help my team win in any sense that I can. So yeah.
I forgot about the 3. That's saying a lot, So, in fact, it was a good shot because the shot clock was at like 7 or whatever it was, 6, whatever, and we have confidence that he can make that. So, that's awesome. I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
Especially in that second half. How important were those, steals and turnovers forced by guys like Harrison and
Yeah, that was enormous because, and I don't know how you know that. I think you were at the game watching, right? Like, so it seems like the whole crowd, our bench, everybody knew that we were not rebounding, particularly on the free throw line, right? And that's something we have to clean up. So, if not for being so dialed in and physical on defense, that is Garrison Kiesler's effort, Honor Huff, a variety of different guys, we could have been in trouble. We made it much more difficult than it had to be because we held them to a pretty decent field goal percentage. That is, we make it tough for them to score, but they kept grabbing offensive rebounds. So certainly we have to clean that up.
How important was that when you guys were constructing this roster this offseason?
Getting guys to rebound or getting guys to play defense, or which part?
Forcing those kinds of turnovers.
Yeah, we focus on the offensive side of the ball quite a bit. That is getting guys that are unselfish, guys that can see, guys that can pass, and guys that can make shots. Now, I know that's hard to say after our shooting percentages early on in the season. So, but with that, you want tough guys too. But in years past, maybe we haven't had as much toughness as we need. So guys like Garrison Kiesler, Bash Whelan's a tough kid. He'll stick his nose in. Jack Costal, Sean Cusano, I can't say enough about him, right? He had another 9 rebounds, right? And sometimes as a coach, right, you're pleading with guys to just do your job or positively impact the game. Well, Sean Cusano's playing a lot more minutes because he's going in there and grabbing rebounds and mixing it up defensively. So it was very important for our program. We are not where we need to be with that side of the ball, the toughness. I think Frank Champion will add to us as well. Makai obviously plays with some toughness as well, but we have to continue to improve upon that.
Is it one of those for giving up the offensive rebounds where just not boxing out or need to get a button someone, trying to track the ball, weird bounces? Like, what's the reason for so many offensive boards?
Yeah, I think a couple things, right? Especially on the free throw line. Well, on the free throw line, you just got to push back with more toughness, if you will, and get them out of here. Now, it's not like the other team's not going hard off the board, after the board. And some of the long rebound, they came out long, so it's about the guys pinching as well. So the next guy in line pinching down. So there's some strategic things we have to do better. There's some just flat out toughness. We have to get better at when the ball hits our hands, it's got to be ours. And I'm sure a lot of coaches talk about that, but too often the ball hits us in the elbow or hits us in the forearm or a hand or whatever, and it bounces off. And there is some where during live play where you're focusing on a shooter or a driver, a scorer, I should say, and you're in help, so you're trying to come over and help, and then that shot goes up and you have to get to the weak side and put a body on. That is challenging, but we have to get better at it. So I thought Makai did a good job of it tonight amongst some other guys, but we certainly have to improve upon it.
Slow starts have been a problem. What do you attribute tonight's energy, just from the get-go?
Yeah, I mean, we focused on it for sure. I just reminded them that, hey, when this ball is tipped, it is go time. Like, we are playing this game. You can't take time to get your legs under you or figure out how they're playing you defensively or wait until I make a shot or two. Like, we got to just come out of the gate more. So, I'd like to say I just have to say that every game, then we'll come out to a great start. That's not necessarily how it worked, but I think the guys are smart enough to know that you can't dig a hole like we did against Tennessee State and some other games and then play from behind. Like, that's not fair to themselves, not fair to their teammates. So I just thought we had much better focus coming out and being ready to play from the jump.
Garrison held Pinzon to 1 out of his last 12 shots. That's pretty impressive.
Very impressive.
Because the guy's such a rhythm shooter.
He is a very good basketball player. He can shoot it from deep, which makes it even more impressive, right? Because you have to play up on him, right? Guys that can only shoot or only drive are easier, quote unquote, to play. A guy that can do everything, it's really hard. I thought he was absolutely outstanding. He caused a couple turnovers too, knocked that ball loose, got us on the break a little bit as well. So can't say enough about Garrison's effort. He played with tremendous toughness. The other thing Pinzon does well is he gets in the lane and then he shot fakes and pivots and whatever. So you have to be disciplined. You have to stay down and concede a tough shot that is a fadeaway rather than trying to block his shot and let him pivot through and get an and one or what have you. So I thought Garrison played with tremendous toughness, but also with a lot of smarts.
You guys were up 12 off the top of my head with just a couple minutes left in the half, and then got cut to 1. They took the lead early in the second half. Were you guys able to get out of that little lull to pull it back to basically double-digit victory?
I'd say definitely playing together, and we were just sticking to the offense. So, moving that ball and trusting each other to make the right shots. I feel like we all put each other into, the right positions to make tough shots, and everything. Or some players were hitting their shots, so we really got a flow in that second half.
That's the right answer. I like that.
I mean, would you say the defense kind of flipped the script in the second half, particularly after you went to that lull? They outscored you 17-2.
Yeah, no, I think absolutely. We stayed dialed in. And again, when you look at the strategy side of it, we were really good. Not all the time, but we played their strong hands much more than, right? So if you have a strong lefty driver, it helps to play his left hand, right? We did that at a high rate today, and we played guys' tendencies. So we were up on the shooters, we were sagging off or in help defense off the guys that couldn't shoot as well. But the other side of it is that toughness part, and I thought, Makai, Garrison again, Honor played this, strategically really well up on the shooter. So I think it was a combination platter of being dialed into the game plan, but also just playing with physical toughness.
This should have been a good game for you playing a Martelli in that Northeast style of play.
Yeah, I'm familiar with Phil and his family. Everybody from the Philly, South Jersey area knows each other if you're in the basketball world. His father, Phil Sr., was a tremendous coach at St. Joe's for years. He recruited me when I was coming through. So, and his brother's at Penn State as well as an assistant. So, a great basketball family, good people. And, I told them, I watched them play yesterday. So, they were able to have a really good game against Tennessee State and make 15 or 14 threes. And I was like, I don't know why we scheduled this game. So, but again, it does make for a better Thanksgiving, getting a good win. I thought we took a step in the right direction in this process.
What food are you looking forward to most for Thanksgiving?
I'd say definitely the turkey, and I like the candy yams too.
So I don't want to throw my wife under the bus, but she is from Europe, so she doesn't celebrate Thanksgiving or didn't growing up, and she's vegan, so I have to fight for turkey or ham or what have you. So I was able to get some, so we will have, and my mother's down for Thanksgiving and my 2 daughters, so we'll have a nice Thanksgiving, but I'm looking forward to the turkey.